Thanks for coming over. This is Amodeus. Today's Dungeon Hunter Champion video is a correction on yesterday's video about Snake Lady. So, first and foremost, special thanks to CappellaKuro and DonaldDump from the community for their insight and help in getting the healing issue I was witnessing yesterday in my testing all fixed up. So, in case you're curious, basically my light AA was preventing all damage from going through. So there was nothing to heal when the Snake Lady skill was used for healing, which meant that nothing was going to show up in the stats. So once I took out AA from the mix, I could see the heals. So now that I know that that works correctly, I'm much more confident with taking a look at the Snake Lady in Update 5. So let's actually do that right now. This is very unique. So Serpent's Bite is an auto attack with two parts. First, it attacks target enemy from a distance and deals attack-based damage. Now, whenever another skill is cast, the Serpent spits venom at a nearby enemy, inflicting ongoing damage. The Serpent prefers to attack enemies with the marked debuff, but will attack the nearest enemy if none are marked. Why is this important? It's important because Viper Nest, the second skill, is now in Update 5 on a 1-second cooldown when the Snake Lady is fully skilled up and on Adept. And basically what this does is it summons a swarm of Vipers, damages and marks the enemy champion. Now, Serpent's Bite can now go add another OGD every 1 second. It's pretty intense. Doesn't work out as well as you would think as far as an ongoing damage being applied, but it still applies a lot more ongoing damage than it did previously. And we'll see that actually in some testing coming up. Now, the next skill, Draining Kiss, is what we were trying to test out yesterday. And basically this blows a kiss at a target enemy that deals damage and stuns. If the enemy is marked, this heals for an amount of HP equal to the damage dealt. And she can do this every 7 seconds, assuming there's no other skill cooldown reduction. Enfeebling Toxins, her last skill, it hurls an orb of venom in a direction dealing damage to enemies. When it reaches maximum range, it explodes into a smaller globs of venom. Each glob deals damage to enemies and lowers attack speed. Each enemy can be damaged up to 3 globs, or rather damaged by up to 3 of those globs on explosion. Now, we went through this yesterday, but I built Snake Lady on attack, crit damage, attack, and I'll be honest, I did go Adept Precise specifically because I wanted to get Viper's Nest down to a 1-second cooldown so I could try to apply as many OGD stacks as possible. So, one thing I will say is, like, for the Snake Lady, I really see the Snake Ladies as a transition piece for the Siege Tower. So if you don't have Siege Tower, these are great champions, right? I mean, they ascend into accuracy, they're super easy to build, and you can build them as a DPS unit, right? So just think about it. The Snake Lady is going to apply the last buff on this team that you really are missing out. So we have lower defense, we have attack speed buff, we have attack power buff, and with the Snake Lady we have mark, right? So now every unit does 20% more damage. So in this particular pre-flight team, what I would normally experience is that Eleanor or Caroline would hit the Elder Drake with, you know, 3 to 4 stacks of OGD before it stepped away, right? Because you can never get all 10 stacks on the Elder Drake. That's just not a realistic expectation if you're trying to pre-flight them. You're really looking to get that 4 or 5. Well, you can get 4 or 5 with the Snake Lady and do more damage during the waves. So if you look here, we're going to get 4 stacks up. So right now I already know there was no way this Elder Drake was ever going to fly away. But luckily, just from a timing perspective, this team is built to be able to have all of the skills up right there at the end, right? Which is ultimately the reason that we have Kendrick in here instead of Hoshi, because we don't want that extra cooldown from Hoshi. This is just enough cooldown so that everybody's skills are up at the very end. Now, let's take that same strategy and move over to Steel Widow 11. Once again, basically, the Snake Lady is an alternative for those folks that don't have a Siege Tower. If you got a Siege Tower, it's very tough to say that that's not a better champion than Snake Lady for many, many reasons. Now, I actually do like the Snake Ladies in that particular role, like as a transition piece. So as you can see here, she does a lot of damage because we have her built on a DPS build, right? That makes her a little bit squishier than your Siege Towers, right? But that, you know, in all honesty, that's to be expected. She's a 4-star. What I do appreciate, though, is the fact that when I do build an entirely DPS team like I did in Elder Drake, and basically we have right here, this entire team is going to benefit from her applying Mark, right? Because it increases everybody's damage by 20%. So it really helps overall on this particular team, and I don't have to worry about the survivability as much with Snake Lady being as squishy as she is, because she does have that heal. That now that we don't have the Archangel on here, works perfectly. Now that said, if you got an OP Archangel that just prevents you from taking any damage because of his shields and Steel Widow, he's probably better than a healer. But I didn't know that yesterday. But hey, we live and we learn. So let's just real quickly sell this and grab some stats here real quick, and see just across the board what we look like. So, okay. So, there you go. I mean, she's right there in line with your nature technician, but I'll be honest, I think the technician, Daria, could be much stronger if we got her on some better gear. And then, of course, the Rota is just OP. There's no doubt about that. And those heals probably only are there because of the lack of damage. With Yua on the team, because Yua is a great healer in Update 5. But I'm interested to see what you guys think. Is she a viable replacement until you can get into your siege towers? Do you see a spot for her on your team? What are your thoughts around the Snake Ladies? As always, thanks for watching the videos. Have a great day. Bye.